Hello, Bastrop. I'm Gary Oldham, co-founder of Protect Round Rock, a truly grassroots citizen advocacy group that was formed last December to oppose the 9th data center that was proposed in Round Rock. Despite massive resident opposition, the Round Rock City Council voted unanimously to approve that data center last February. And I'm here today to talk to you about the immense fire risk data centers present to your community. Before we begin, a little bit about myself and my qualifications to speak on this subject. I'm a member of the International Association of Fire Chiefs and the National Fire Protection Association. I'm one of the architects of the Incident Command System, the framework that's used across the country and beyond to manage emergency incidents. And I'm a graduate of the National Fire Academy's Executive Development Program. I spent a career in the fire service, including as a chief officer. And since then, I've been working in the private sector on technology for the public safety community. As some of you might know, just last month, Texas A&M, UC Berkeley, and George Washington University released a joint study on the immense fire risk presented by data centers. One of the key factors is that data centers often include equipment that is novel and unproven, and electrical systems that don't have a fault and failure record upon which we can take lessons. The study also talked about the numerous ignition sources for a fire in a data center, including battery failures, thermal runaways, arc flashes, improper maintenance, construction problems, and human error. Collectively, these present an immense challenge to firefighting operations. But beyond a study, let's take a look at something that happened right here in Round Rock. In March of 2024, the Round Rock Fire Department responded to an early morning fire at the Sabi Data Center, right here behind me, at 1300 Lewis Henna Boulevard in Round Rock. That fire took place in a battery storage outbuilding where banks of batteries were stored. Original damage estimates for that fire put it at $2 million. More recent assessments have put it at closer to $11 million. To combat that fire took the entirety of the Round Rock Fire Department and mutual aid partners. 14 pieces of fire apparatus and 44 firefighters were needed to extinguish that blaze, and it took 5 hours to do so. Now think about that. Think about that in the context of the Bastrop Fire Department, for instance. The Bastrop Fire Department operates one engine and a quint, and they're staffed by 3 career firefighters, augmented by volunteers. The several ESDs in Bastrop County are also small. They don't have a lot of equipment, and they're typically staffed by a combination of career and volunteer firefighters. Fire departments often rely upon mutual aid, where other fire departments come in and assist on large fires. Bastrop County has certainly seen that in action, whether it's the 2011 wildfire siege or incidents before or after that. But mutual aid is no substitute for having a fire department that is adequately staffed and resourced and equipped to handle the community's fire load. The city of Bastrop, the ESDs in the county, none of them, or collectively, are they equipped to handle even one fire in a data center. That's not a knock on them. They're providing reasonable fire protection for the normal fire risks in the community. But data centers do not present a normal fire risk. During the Sabi fire, smoke laden with contaminants from the thermal runaway battery fire, carrying carcinogens, heavy metals, and other toxins, entered the residential neighborhood that's immediately adjacent to the Sabi data center. I'm facing a house less than 50 feet away, and you can see just how close the data center is behind me. To your right is phase 2 that's well under construction, doubling or more the size of the original facility. Water runoff from the fire suppression efforts, also completely contaminated with the same carcinogens, heavy metals, other toxins, entered a storm drain and entered a tributary to Brushy Creek. At no point did either Sabi or the city of Round Rock notify or warn nearby residents or anyone else or the media about the incident or the immense risk it presented to the community. Every one of the 44 firefighters at the scene was also exposed to those horrifically toxic materials, and each of them will carry that ticking time bomb inside them for the rest of their lives. This was a huge environmental disaster, and it was kept quiet from the community. Lest you think Round Rock's experience is an anomaly, let's look elsewhere. In Jerome Township, Ohio, at a single Amazon data center, there were more than 80 fires between 2021 and 2025. 80 fires. One of them took more than 30 hours to extinguish. The fire department there reports that sometimes Amazon security can delay their entry onto the property by more than an hour. They're not alone. In Chesterfield County, Virginia, a data center experienced 4 significant fires in less than a year, all of them caused by lithium battery failures. In France, there was a major data center fire that damaged multiple data centers on a single campus and was caused by an electrical infrastructure failure. These facilities present immense risks. You can see the data center right here, and here to your right are the adjacent homes. Extinguishing a data center fire can take between 1 and 2 million gallons of water. Let that sink in. Between 1 and 2 million gallons. Delivering that much water takes a robust water supply system and the means by which to access it. In Round Rock, we're fortunate to have a strong municipal water supply and abundant fire hydrants. I very much doubt that's the case for data centers being built or proposed in Bastrop County. Sure, you can build data infrastructure, but it's a very expensive proposition with excavation, installing mains, pumping stations, hydrant systems. It's going to cost a lot of money. And who's going to pay for that? And who should? To get water to a fire at a data center where there isn't readily available access to fire hydrants and a solid water supply means shuttling in water using water tenders, large tanker trucks that fire departments operate to bring water in areas where there isn't a reliable water supply. In Bastrop, your water tenders carry about 2,000 gallons of water, according to publicly available information. And even getting 1 million gallons to a data center fire using water tenders is going to take a while. That's 500 round trips between the fire and a reliable water source to fill those tankers. They then have to travel back to the fire and put that water to use. And time is something you don't have when you're fighting a fast-moving, aggressive, highly hazardous fire. And so to recap, let's remember that the battery storage outbuilding fire we had here in Round Rock, a 1,000 square foot roofless building, took 14 pieces of apparatus and 44 firefighters 5 hours to extinguish. These data center buildings, the primary buildings, can easily be 100,000 square feet. That's 100 times larger than the outbuilding that burned here. Many are much larger. The most recent data center approved in Round Rock can be up to 250,000 square feet. And what if, God forbid, a data center fire took place at the same time as one or more wildfires were burning in Bastrop County? Or what if the data center fire caused a wildfire? Think how depleted your resources would be. If a community's fire department is not adequately staffed, equipped, and resourced to fight a data center fire, your elected officials should never consider approving a single data center in your community. Demand that your local elected officials put the people of Bastrop County first, the environment first, and everyone's safety, health, and well-being first. Demand they do the right thing and deny all applications for data centers in Bastrop County. Thank you for watching.